This module is on calculating mole conversions using the IDEAS strategy. Students in chemistry will be completing this module, and IDEAS is a self-management strategy that students will learn. This is Movie 1, an overview of calculating mole conversions and student materials. In the Virginia Standards of Learning for Chemistry, this is SOL 4, which reads that students will learn about chemical quantities based on molar relationships. The key concept for this module is Avogadro's principle and molar volume. You'll learn about who Avogadro is in the next movie. The way that students show their understanding that they can do this is by calculating conversions correctly. In this module, you'll be seeing a series of movie contents. There are a series of 7 different movies, and you see in movies 4, 5, 6, and 7, you'll be learning about and using the IDEAS self-management strategy. You'll also be initially using a pattern that can help you to calculate mole conversions correctly. More on the pattern in this movie. Students will each have a student workbook for this module. If you have your student workbook already, at the end of this movie, make sure that you get your name, class period, teacher, and school written on the front page. Another material that you'll be using frequently is a laminated periodic chart of elements, or we often refer to it as the periodic table. On the back side of this laminated periodic table, you have other information that you'll be using frequently. In the top left corner, you see an element, He, helium, is highlighted. Where you see the star is where the atomic mass, or molar mass, is shown in the elements box. Another thing that you see is a gray box. In that gray box, you see 3 different mole equalities. You'll be using one or more of these mole equalities in calculating mole conversions. You also see on this sheet the IDEAS self-management strategy. For right now, just know that you have the information on the laminated front and back sheet. You'll be learning how to use that information and when to use it as you progress through these movies. Now, what you see at the top of this slide is one of the patterns that you'll be using in calculating mole conversions. We would consider this to be a one-step conversion. You see the one box there. Notice also that you have cues for using I, D, not the E and the A, and the S from the IDEAS strategy within this pattern. Another pattern that you'll be using is a 2-step conversion. Notice that there are 2 boxes here. You'll first learn how to do 1-step problems very well. Then we'll get into 2-step problems. And last, you'll have a combination of 1 and 2-step problems. Notice in the last pattern that there's a staggered line for that 2nd step. That indicates that you'll need to make a decision about whether or not you need to use that box. Using the IDEAS strategy will help you to make the right decision. Another thing you'll be using in this module is a response pattern that looks like this. This is called a paddleboard. You will be responding A, or on the back side of that is B, Or if you turn it upside down, D, or on the back side of that is C. You'll be prompted each time when to use the response paddles, is what we sometimes call them. And teachers, you'll need to get somewhere to the front of the room, or students, you'll need to show your pattern in the direction of the teachers so that they can see your responses. Let's do some practice with using the paddle response boards right now. Okay, teachers, get to a position where you can see the students' responses. Students, you'll have a choice of A or B, which means yes or no, with this series of questions. Here's question number 1. I'm going to cue you when to raise your paddles and when paddles down. Teachers, in between that time, you can be looking at responses, and later on in the movies, sometimes you'll want to pause the video so that you can have more time to look and give some feedback on what you're seeing from the students. Right now, I think it'll go fairly quickly, so there's probably no reason to pause the video. Question number 1. Did you earn a good grade in chemistry on your latest report card? Students, get ready to answer yes or no. Paddles up. Teachers, take a look. Make any comments you want. Students, paddles down. Next question. Would you like to earn good grades in chemistry for this grading period? Students, paddles up. Teachers, take a look. Make any comments you want. Students, paddles down. Last question. Are you interested in learning a strategy that helps you calculate mole conversions? Students, paddles up. Teachers, make any comments. Students, paddles down. Okay, so now you're familiar with how you're going to be using your response paddle throughout the movies. Now, what I want you to understand when you're hearing this module title of Calculating Mole Conversions is that right now it doesn't really mean a whole lot to you. So let me paraphrase it for you. Calculating mole conversions is about changing from one type of units to another type of units. Now, students, realize that you already do this kind of changing in real life. For example, you might have a $1 bill, and then you might want it to change from being a dollar bill to being 4 quarters. That dollar bill is a type of unit. Those quarters are types of units. You'll need to know unit names and their quantities. Now, with a dollar, you know that that's 100 cents. So you know the unit name is dollar and its quantity is 100 cents. Similarly, you know that a quarter, the unit name, is 25 cents, its quantity. Only in this unit, of course, you'll be using things related to chemistry. And you're going to be using what we refer to as the gray box of mole equalities. More about that in another movie. Also, you'll be learning how to use the IDEAS self-management strategy. And that can help you to do the calculations for conversions accurately. All right, so the movie contents. So far, you've heard movie 1. This is the end. Next is movie 2. What is a mole and who is Avogadro? This is the end of movie 1. And what you can do is, if you've not yet written your name and other information on your student workbook, do that now. End movie 1.